Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For some reason the lighting on this video looks really strange, so if it is, I apologise. For today's video I'm going to be doing a back to school advice slash Q&A video. I did one of these a year or two ago and I just thought I'd do an updated one. I asked a few people for some questions and I've got a couple that I'm going to answer, and then just talk about sort of going back to school or college, all that sort of thing in general, and give some advice and some of my experiences, maybe personal tips, things like that. First is any advice for year 11 going into their GCSE year at school. When I was at school, I started my GCSEs in year 9, and then sometimes it's been you start in year 10, then it's obviously for me it was year 9, then it went to just year 11. So I think at the moment it's just year 11s that do their GCSEs, but they might be changing it again. It's so confusing, to be honest, they change it all the time. But going into your final year of school, being 100% honest here, year 11 for me, the last year of high school, was my favourite year. I enjoyed it the most. I think it was just the last year, and obviously because I'd spent so much time with my group of friends throughout the whole of school. Yes, I guess sometimes throughout different year groups your friendship groups might change, but my friendship group I'd been friends with pretty much the whole of high school, so it helped that I was really close with all of them and I had these really strong friendships, and we were just enjoying the last year together. Because although I ended up going to sixth form afterwards at the school, quite a few of my other friends did too, but there were obviously some that were moving on to do other things. It was like basically the time to spend the last few moments with those people and make the most of it. And just in general, the whole year was just the most fun. I enjoyed the lessons the most in year 11. Yes, GCSEs can be quite scary, but at the end of the day, if you work hard enough and just make the most of the time you have there, then you will be fine. I know a lot of people worry about what grades they're going to get, and obviously it's been results day recently as well, so I guess this could be relevant to some of you guys that have already finished school or college. I don't want to be repeating what everyone else says, but basically I know results do feel like they're quite important, and yes, they are in some aspects, and it just sort of depends on what you want to go on and do. If you're going on to a job or something that needs very high grades, and then yes, obviously that's what you need to get, and maybe if you don't get those grades it's quite stressful because you're not sure how you're going to get into it. There's always options, there's always a chance to redo exams or just find a different route. And obviously for those who do great in exams, well done, because I know how hard it is. Then there are some jobs or some career paths or universities and things like that that don't necessarily need top grades. And if you don't get into the university you want to, there are other options. You can go through clearing. I didn't personally go to university. I did a HND course, which is a university level course at a college. So I kind of did do university, but I didn't go properly to university. I don't really know how to explain it. Maybe you know what HND is and you understand, but I feel like I'm not making any sense. But basically your grades are not going to define the rest of your life. If you don't do well, there are other options and there are ways to go around things and still continue to do what you want to do. But yeah, my advice for going into the last year, just keep revising and working hard, but make sure you don't let it take over your life. Make sure you're taking time to enjoy those last moments with all your friends and those last moments in some of the lessons you enjoy or with teachers you like. Just make the most of it, because honestly I had the best time in year 11. That was my favourite year, like I said, and you don't want to waste the whole year stressing. I know that's easier said than done, and there are going to be very, very stressful days. Have it in your mind that as long as you work hard, then things will work out for you, even if your grades don't turn out how you expect. If you're someone that is determined and works hard, you're definitely going to succeed in life, even if this part of your life, as in grades, doesn't go so well for you. There's still, because you're working so hard, there's no doubt that you will get far in life and do what you want to do, and if you put your mind to something, you're bound to do it. My main piece of advice for going into your last year is to just enjoy it. Make the most of every moment, because maybe you'll miss it when you're gone, and you don't want to have your last memories of school being complete stress and no enjoyment. Yes, there will be some stress. There's no escaping that, obviously. When you're working hard towards exams, it's going to be stressful. But you want to make sure you've got the balance of spending time with your friends at school and just enjoying yourself, basically. Next is, how do you decide between college and sixth form? Now, this is a question that I'm very passionate about talking about, because I feel like a lot of places and a lot of schools, a lot of teachers, not everyone, but quite a lot of people like to try and push you towards one thing, and because they think it's right for you, or they think it's the best option and the way you're going to succeed in life. But at the end of the day, if it's what you want to do, then that's what's important. I feel like a lot of people get pressured into going to sixth form because colleges can seem, I think there's like a stereotype for college that it's sort of like a lower thing than sixth form. I feel like people assume sixth form is for the smarter people and college is for people who don't want to work as hard. I do get a lot of impressions from other people that that's what people are thinking. I don't think that made sense. But that's not necessarily the case at all. It's whatever suits a person. There's also a lot of like stigma around the fact that people often get pressured not to go to sixth form because they say, oh my god, it was the worst 2 years of my life, I hated every second of it, it's too difficult, you'll absolutely hate it, don't bother, good luck. And yes, some people are going to hate it, but some people are also going to hate college. Some people are also going to hate going to do an apprenticeship. Some people are going to hate going to work at a job, I don't know. Basically, everyone has their own opinions. And yes, from personal experience, I went to sixth form and I didn't enjoy it too much. I struggled with it a lot, especially in the second year. Not only was it like the stress of work and everything, it was also personal life. There was a lot going on that year and it just was a nightmare for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a nightmare for you. And I know there are people that really enjoyed sixth form, and it just sort of depends what you think is best suited to you. Please do not feel pressured by other people. If you have in your head, I really want to go to sixth form, and all of your friends are like, why are you going to sixth form? It's going to be ridiculously hard, don't do it. It's a nightmare, you'll cry every day. Maybe some people do feel that way about sixth form, but not everyone is going to feel the same. You might go to sixth form, come out at the end of it and feel like you've had the best 2 years of your life. Because again, every single person is different and has their own opinions and their own personal preferences, and it's just whatever you think suits you. And just don't rush into a decision. I was adamant that I wasn't going to sixth form, and I was set on the fact that I wasn't going to go, I was going to go to college. Then I decided I would go to the sixth form open day just to see what it was like. Ended up really enjoying it and really liking the look of it. And I think as well, the fact that it was staying in my comfort zone because I was still going to be with my friends and it was in the same environment, I think that had a large impact on it. So it is a great way to go about things if you're way too nervous to move on and step outside your comfort zone. Although it is still stepping outside your comfort zone because it's a lot of hard work and it's a big step from GCSE to A-level. It's sort of the fact that you're still going to be in the same environment with similar people. That's one of the reasons I stayed, but I also just really liked the look of it. And although there were parts of it that I really didn't enjoy at all, there were also parts that I loved, and there are moments of sixth form that I do still miss to this day. Honestly, it's just personal preference. Just don't let people pressure you into making a decision. So if you think, I want to go on to sixth form, do a few different subjects, that seems more for me, then do it. If you think, I don't want to go to sixth form, I'd rather go to college or do an apprenticeship, then go for it. Just make sure you think about it and decide what's best for you. And at the end of the day, if you do something and if you decide to go to college, for example, and end up thinking, I wish I'd gone to sixth form, there is always time to change things. You can always go about things different ways if you change your mind. There is always a way around things. If you're unhappy, things will always work out in the end. Just go to the open days at colleges and sixth forms, things like that. Just have a look around, see what suits you best, have a good think about it. They both differ for certain reasons, and you just need to see which best suits what you're looking for, if that makes sense. It's quite hard to give advice on which to choose because, again, everyone's different and I can't choose for you, so you just really need to look into things and, like I said, go to some open days, maybe talk to some people, like some teachers. Make sure, if they're being a bit too biased, make sure you consider the fact that they might be being quite biased, but also listen to the points that they have, because you might hear them say something and think, yeah, that sounds perfect for me. Sixth form is definitely what I should go and do. I hope that helped, because it's quite hard to explain. There are 2 spiders in my room and I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. The final question I have is, how many GCSE/BTECs have actually benefited you in the future since you left high school? And obviously for me, I've only just finished my HND course, so I haven't had too much time in the adult world yet, so in terms of like jobs and stuff, I won't know how much they'll benefit me yet. They might benefit me in the future, but if I'm being completely honest, right now, not needed them at all, really. I guess going up to do HND and sixth form, you have to have gotten certain GCSEs and stuff for like the education system, like that sort of thing. Obviously it matters then because they want certain grades or certain subjects to have been taken in order for you to move on. Like I couldn't have done HND if I'd not done sixth form, because obviously you have to do the A level, you have to do that level before going on to the university level. In education terms, obviously it is quite important in moving up because you have to have done it in that order. You know what I mean. But I've not been away from education long enough to determine whether it's affected me afterwards. I am starting a new job soon, which my grades aren't like needed for, if that makes sense. So at the moment it's not important for me just yet. Although I have been auditioning for Disneyland and they ask for like a CV and obviously have to put your grades on there. So maybe they would sort of be looking for higher grades in the performing arts industry. But again, I don't think it necessarily matters. It just sort of is how you come across in your audition. I can't really answer this one because I know it's quite difficult, because a lot of people think that their grades define their whole life, and then some people say they don't matter. It just completely depends on what you want to go and do in the future. If you want to go be a doctor or a vet or something like that, you are going to need certain grades to get the correct training and to go on and be a qualified doctor. I don't know a lot about it, so yeah, there are some things where it will matter, but in the long run, I think the further along you get in life, the less they'd look at the lower sort of qualifications. Not like by the time you get to a certain age it doesn't matter what you got in your GCSEs, because it still does, because it's obviously a great achievement if you've done well, but not all jobs will necessarily be looking for what you got in your GCSEs, and some jobs will require high grades. Again, it all depends on what you're going to do. So it's really hard to say, oh, it doesn't matter what you get because it's not going to matter in the long run. Maybe it will for some jobs. I don't know a lot about every single job. So some jobs might say, yes, you need A's in these subjects at GCSE and A level and university degree level. But then others, maybe they just want a standard like C grade in performing arts for you to go and be in a performance. I don't know, honestly, I've not been in the real world long enough to know if they would matter as much in the long run. I feel like I'm not making sense. So far, they haven't benefited me, but that is because I've literally just finished in education and it's at the end of summer now. I'm just going into adult life now, starting a new job. At the moment, they've not benefited me just yet since coming out of education completely. They've benefited me from going to GCSE to A level, from A level to HND obviously, but after that, I don't know yet. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. So just some general advice. I've given quite a lot throughout this video anyway, but it is so hard because you hear so many opinions from so many people And it's really hard to give advice for every single person because everyone will be going through something different. Some people will be stressing that their grades aren't good enough. Some people will be stressing that they don't know what they're going to do with their lives. Maybe they've done something at A-level, gotten a good grade, but then decided they want to go on and do something completely different. For example, maybe they've been doing A-levels in like science and stuff, and they want to go into something of that field. But then all of a sudden, once they've done their A-levels, they completely change their mind and they want to be a scuba diver. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of things that people stress about in terms of education and school. Maybe you're just going into your first day of high school, maybe. If you are going into your first year of high school, then I know it's very daunting. I can tell you from personal experience, I was terrified. But you just have to remember that everyone has been in that position before and everyone knows how you feel. Some people, yes, they might be a lot more confident and might not be as nervous, and they are just more confident people in general, but for some people it is a lot harder, and a lot of people may be worried that they don't have the same friends going up to high school with them that they did in primary school. But honestly, you will make friends. Although it may seem like you won't, you will make friends and you will start to slowly fit in and just enjoy it. Just don't stress about it. I think people make out that it's a lot scarier than it is, and you and your brain are probably thinking that it's going to be the most terrifying thing you'll ever experience, but it's not a big deal. Just enjoy it. Just think of the positives, like, oh, getting to make new friends and meeting new teachers and trying out new subjects. Just enjoy it, because this is just sort of this beginning stages of high school where you're just learning to settle in and get on with new teachers and stuff. Just make the most of that moment, and then as the years go on, you will have formed groups of friends, or maybe just one friend. However things work out for you, it will all work out. Just don't be nervous. I know it's a scary jump from primary school to high school, but even if you're just going back to school, maybe you're like halfway through the school time, maybe you're going into like year 9 or something, so not necessarily a big year for you, just another similar school year. Just, you know, I know it might feel like, oh great, another year, still got more time left, can't be bothered. Again, this is the same piece of advice I've given for everything, but you just need to make the most of it before it's gone, because you may miss it all when it's over and wish you hadn't wished it all away. And time goes ridiculously fast. It's just one of those things you have to do at the end of the day. So you might as well enjoy it and see the light in every situation. I know it might not be the most fun thing for you, but it's something you have to do, and you might as well just get on with it, enjoy the time that you have with your friends, and yeah, just have fun. Just don't stress, have fun. I touched on this in the last back to school video I made. If you're worried about maybe certain people that are going to be there, maybe there's people you don't get on with, or bullies, anything like that, again, easier said than done. You just have to ignore it completely. I feel like there's many different levels of bullying. Some can be like a mild level of bullying, which can still be frustrating and upsetting, but you just learn to ignore it and remember who is important, and that there are worse things in life to worry about. And I know bullying can get very severe as well, which is when obviously you need to go and talk to someone about it. At the end of the day, if you're talking to people about it, telling your parents, telling family, friends, teachers, there will always be a way for it to be sorted, even if it does take time. Trust me. Again, something else I've experienced, a lot of bullying, and it all does go away in the end, and you'll get to my age and realise that none of it matters, and you'll just look back on it and laugh at how ridiculous people were and pathetic people were for wasting their lives trying to bully you and bring you down. And you'll get to this point and think, well, none of it matters now because it's not affected me at all. And although you still kind of face bully type people to this day, like I feel like throughout your whole life you're going to face people like that. When you get to a certain age and once you've put up with it for so long, you just sort of get used to it, and you just sort of learn to ignore it and remember who the better person is, and it all works out in the end. So I know it's really difficult to deal with bullying because I definitely struggled with it. As long as you continue to be the better person, it's not gonna be the end of the world, I promise. Okay, so I feel like I've not made much sense in this video, but I hope it's helped you guys in some way that are going back to school or back into education. I think the main point in terms of advice and just this whole video in general is to just not let the stress take over. Yes, you will have times where you'll be stressing about work because it will get difficult at times for you, but don't let it take over your life. Make the most of every moment and enjoy the parts that you can. Good luck to you guys going back to school, whether you are just starting a new day, like not necessarily going on to any big exams or anything, just another school year, whether you're going into your first year of high school, maybe you're in your last year of primary school, maybe you're in your last year of high school, first year or second year of sixth form, going to university, going to college, going into an apprenticeship, whatever you're doing, I hope everything goes well for you, and I hope that you are happy with the decision you've made and continue to work hard at what you believe in and what you hope to do in the future. As long as you're working towards those goals, it can't go wrong. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it helps you in some way. If you did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below any advice you have for anyone who may be watching this video about going back to school. If you have any stories about going back to school, talk about if you're going into a certain year of school or sixth form or whatever, let me know how you're feeling. Any other questions you have for me and I'll answer them, I'll reply to your comments. And leave me some other video suggestions below, any topics you'd like me to talk about, whether it's school related or education related or just anything in general. Please do let me know because that would be amazing, and I love making little chatty videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't already. I'm getting closer and closer to 700, which is exciting because the number 700 makes it feel a lot closer to 1,000, which is a huge goal for me, which may not seem like a lot compared to other YouTubers, but that's the next huge goal I'm working towards. So I'd love if you could subscribe. Hopefully I'll be uploading a lot more over the next few weeks if I can. And don't forget to subscribe to my other channels, my vlog channel and my Disney channel. And yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now because you're probably sick of listening to my voice, but I will see you in the next video. Bye!